of Civ Victor Will. How's everybody doing today? Amazing, I hope. It is another video from your older than average YouTuber here on the YouTubes, and we are on for our round 2 with the Notorious Morbid Night of the Vivid Dead. Thanks to my friend Kelsey D for giving me some ideas of how to use this, and for Beauty and the Frizz, her channel, to see how it worked with her. And yeah, that helped, so that made me want to do another video. So if you want to see the looks that I created, and if I did manage to get this to work, you're in the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. We're on round 2.5 of this bad boy. This is the Notorious Morbid Night of the Vivid Dead. First go around, it went totally wrong, but I've gotten some advice about how to use this. I did watch another video, and yes, it's a lot of work, but I've got, I don't know, let's see here. I've got a whole wad of different bases and glitter glue, and we are going to try that. I'm going to film and do a voiceover after if this turns out. If I can make it sort of work, I will try yet again with some other colors, and then I will post the video with an update if this has gotten better or not, because I have from watching a video from Beauty and the Frizz and a friend of mine giving some advice. I'm hoping that I can make this work. I have to admit, in the Beauty and the Frizz video, her first look that she did using the green, I didn't think turned out that great either, and her swatches did not work, or did not look good. But her second look looked a lot better, so maybe using some other colors might be better, but we will find out, I guess. So if you see this video posted, we got something to work. Okay, so on to me doing the look. Okay, so we're going to start with the Suva primer here. This is in the pink shade because I decided I'm going to start with the pinks first. From both my friend Kelsey and from Beauty and the Frizz, using a really tacky wet base seemed to be the trick to use for the mattes. So I thought maybe I'm going to try that. So I put on a nice thick juicy coat of the pink here, and I'm going to see if that will help hold on to the pink color. And I wasn't quite sure yet if I'm going to do two looks of the same, or if I'm going to do one different one on each eye. And then plus, to keep it tacky, I decided to do one eye first. So we're going to start with the pink shade that's in here, and that's the one that is called, I believe that is Cursed Coral. Yes, so that's the shade that we're going to start with. This is one that is not lip safe in this palette. Only the black one called Midnight Morning is lip safe. So we're packing it on to get it to, because we want to show the pink of the eyeshadow, not the pink of the primer. I did have to pack it on a little bit thick. That's generally not how I want to put on my eyeshadow, but the texture of this, to give kind of a bit more detail, it is really like it's a loose pigment that was just kind of pressed into a pan, like that it had nothing to bind it, because as soon as you tap into it, it's very kick-uppy, and then when I tap it off, like literally a crap ton comes into my color switch. So, but I got it to pack on. It seems to be staying pretty stable, not getting bald at all. So it is definitely a lot better having that wet primer. So now I took the lit glitter glue that I've got, and I thought I'm going to try one again that is a little bit more liquidy. I have an e.l.f. one, and I have a Berry M more gel style ones, but I thought for this look, let's do one that's super wet. Let's go with that. Maybe when I do the last cohesive look, maybe I'll try the Berry M gel or the e.l.f. kind of creamy one. Because it was a little bit, again, with this added kind of like thickness onto the eye. So yeah. So now we're going to go into the purple shimmer for the outside corner. This one is called, what is that? Dusted Dahlia. Dusked Dahlia. Okay, that's it. It's a strange the writing on the thing here. So this one I had a lot of problem with. So I pat, as you can see, it pats on really quickly, like on its spot, but it doesn't really seem to blend. And I really had a huge problem trying to get that shimmer to kind of go up into the crease. So I kept trying for a bit there, but it just wasn't doing anything. And it didn't seem to like really add color. So it didn't feel like if I blended it or however I tried, it didn't seem to really quite work the way I wanted to. But I just kept going there, hoping for the best. And then I did get a little bit on that lid, on the top lid there, but just... So I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to try a small brush to at least pack it onto the crease there where it wasn't going on with the brush, it still was hard to get on there. So I don't know if it needed even more, like maybe a glitter glue for this would have worked as well. Maybe I should have done a whole eye with glitter glue. But as you can see, I'm really struggling with that purple shade to get it to kind of fill in the corner there. So that was pretty frustrating, I have to say. So I kept on for a little while there, and then I just finally had to give up using the brush. I tried using my finger. It didn't really pick up very much on my finger, so I tried again and it got a little bit more on there, but oh, these nails. I always missed having nails, but it is really hard to kind of use them to put on shadow when you got long nails. But it just really wasn't placing very well on the eye, so I just finally ended up kind of giving up. Yeah, again, maybe a full lid of glitter glue, maybe just going on with no anything underneath it. I'm not sure. So we thought we'd go on to the next shimmery shade in here, and that's kind of like the ready, like, yeah, like a ready pink, I guess. And this one is Coffin Crimson. So yeah, it's supposed to be kind of more of a neon-y red, I guess. This one definitely went on a lot better than that purple one did. I did manage to get it up into the crease, and it went on pretty well, so I was more happier with this shade for sure. But as you can see there, when you tap on there, so much of the shadow comes off. I think if you use this palette a lot, you would definitely hit pan on shades pretty quick because, yeah, you use a lot to get the coverage, and then it's got so much kick up that you just end up wasting more than you really wanted to. So after playing, patting some more and more and more on until I got the depth I wanted, I then just went back into that purple, hoping for the best to see if I can get just a little bit more on after when it's kind of dried a bit. So I think that did add a little bit more. As you can see, I've got some in the crease there, but it's not a very shiny shade. It definitely looks a little bit shinier in the pan than it did on my eye, that's for sure. So once I blended a little bit of pink around the edge too, just to kind of clean up the edge. And then I thought, since it was kind of getting that shape anyways, I thought I would do a bit of a V on the end, just to do to the shape of my eye. Using that angled brush, I seem to get a little bit more of the purple, but can you see that it's really got no shimmer to it? The kind of red shade doesn't so much either. I mean, yeah, the shimmer pretty much goes away. It's a lot more intense in person with this look. It does have a neon-y cast, like it's almost more shiny than sparkly. Like it's very interesting, like glowing. Yeah, it's almost like a neon glow from like a neon sign more than it is sparkly in person. So I think I do kind of like that about the red and the purple, that it's almost more definitely like a neon light feeling than it is with sparkles. But yeah, no, I also like having my wing back, so I was happy to kind of make that work as well. So there we go. What do you think that is looking so far? All right, so I'm just putting on a P. Louise base. It's kind of like a greenish yellow. I think I had a little bit of green from yesterday left on this brush. I just thought I would use that brush instead of mucking up another one. Plus, we're going to be using those greens, so I think that's just fine. And it didn't change the viscosity of the eye primer. So now we're going to go back into that green we used yesterday, the Macabre Mint, or Macabre Mint, or however you want to pronounce it. I really did like the color on the eye. I thought it looked so good, and it really did match my sweater the other day, as was pointed out to me. Yes, I enjoyed how it looked, so I thought, yes, I do want to try this again. That's why I opted to do a 2-eye look, and then to see as well if a primer makes a difference, because this one I did notice that it kind of bolded a little bit as I was blending it out. But yes, definitely using a wet primer did help this along a lot. So if you're going to buy this palette or you're going to try their formula, and from what I've been hearing, this is their formula, so that they do need a wetter base. But I've also heard that they're a little bit better than the neon shades. But again, as we all know, neon shades are a little bit harder to make. So I've heard that from different brands as well, that, you know, where people are using them and that they either like them or don't. But I hear the Give Me Glow pastel one is really good. And then the Blend Buddy pastels that I have from my Surge palette look really good. So I was always happy with those. So now we're going to do yellow. So I just had used this one. It is the Cryptic Chartreuse. I had just used that as a little bit of an inner corner yesterday because it was the light, kind of like the lightest shade, and I thought a matte corner would look good. But this time I decided that I want to use it more on the eye, and then I always like a green and yellow look. Doing yellow eye looks is probably one of my favorite eye looks to do, especially for a go-to, want to go out and do some things. So yeah, we wanted to play with this, and it went really nice over the base as well. But I still had to use quite a chunk of it to get it to be a little bit more opaque, like I wanted it to be. All right, now that we've kind of done that, we are going to go to play with the shimmers. And then the first one that I'm playing with is the one that we did yesterday, and that is the Living Dead Girl. This shimmer definitely is lasting longer today, as I'm right now looking into my eyeballs, than it did yesterday. I'm definitely a little bit more happier today with this. But this is still a lot to put on an eye look. So we're going to try some with our finger as well to see if we get a little bit more opaqueness. And we definitely did with this shade for sure. Using the finger, it did help. I mean, it went on okay with the brush, but I think definitely, again, the warmth of skin made this a lot better. But yeah, there we go. Got some shimmer down. Okay, so now for the outer corner, we're going to use the shade that is Graveyard Glam. So that was the other green that we used yesterday. It's kind of the, kind of like a bright frog green, like a tree frog green. It's really pretty. It is really pretty. But I thought today we would use the 3 shimmery greens in here. So there is one more that we're going to use to do on the wing. But, this one went on pretty well. Again, these are seeming to all want a emollient base, but I just feel like they are going on a little bit heavy. So again, I don't know how much that is for old lady eyes, so you are going to have to tell me. But again, right now it is doing okay on my eyeballs still as I am doing the voiceover here. And yeah, so then we took that other green, and that one is called a Zombie Glow, and then that's what I did for the winged out part of my look. So this is a really pretty color as well. It's just a little bit darker, not a lot, but or maybe even more of a warmer tone, I think, than the other two shades. But that one went on really nicely. Probably maybe the nicest of the three, I think. Oh my gosh, look at all that fallout all over my face. That is insanity. But it is a very pretty green color, so we're just going to play with this for a bit. We're just going to place it and make sure that we cover all the eye primer. Alrighty, so now it's time to do the inner corners. So for the red and purple side, we're using the shade that is called Phantom Peach. And again, this is another one that is not lip safe apparently. The only one, again, is the Midnight Morning, the black one. I still haven't tested that out. Maybe I should do that tomorrow with the black. So there we go. We're using that for the inner corner. It did pretty good. Again, I used a little glitter glue just to make sure, because we want it to stay. And then how is that doing currently? Yes, I can still see both my inner corners here, so that is good. So the wear is definitely okay on this. So now for that, I decided to use a little bit of the blue shade, and this one is called Soul Sapphire. And this one is a pretty blue. I think when I do my other look, I'm very tempted to do something that is very shimmer heavy and see how those look. That might require a play as well, but there we go. So we've got our inner corner done. So now it is time to do our base. Okay, so here we are done with my next attempt with this palette. So I ended up wanting to do one on each eye to kind of play a little bit, and then I think I'm going to do one more look before I make my final decision with one cohesive look. I just thought this was just see me playing and trying to figure it out and what works. I have to admit I did do another look and ended up wiping it off and then starting again. So, but I kind of figured out a little bit better that what was not working, which was that stupid black shadow. Hate it. It did go on better with glitter glue, but maybe when I do the cohesive look, I'll try with a little bit in the corner and then you'll see. But it did definitely go on with glitter glue. So if you want to use that black shadow, glitter glue is the look. So then to finish this off, I did a couple hard candy liners on this side, a little yellow and then a little bit of the green on top. And then on the other side, this is what I got in an ice cream box. So this is from ZZ. I like their liners. This is kind of like a red ochre, burgundy kind of red, and I thought that would go really well. I wanted to use my Lowest Cosmetics, but I had forgot that I had finished it. So there we go. So, so far with this look, what do I think? I'm figuring this product out. I do, and so thank you, Kelsey, for all the hints and reminding me to check out Beauty and the Frizz because I'm a few videos, well, probably more than a few videos behind. But anyways, so far I want to say it just gets a little thick on the eyes. So I don't know, you tell me if it looks super wrinkly onto the old lady eyes, but I did get it to work. I just find that it's a lot of work to use an eyeshadow palette, and I don't think eyeshadow should be that hard, to be honest. I have a feeling, Kelsey, this will be yours, but I will do one more look before I give my 100% if this gets redeemed or not, or if I still think it's no bueno. So anyways, on to the final look. Okay, so I'm going to do a cohesive look. I'm going to do the same look on both eyes. Today I'm going to play with the Glitter Fix Gel by Barry M, and I've got the e.l.f. Kind of the same idea. Glitter glue. Using the liquid lit one plus a colored base, I could feel it all night long. Usually when I put on makeup, unless I have lashes on, I usually can't tell if I've got makeup on my eyeballs. I could totally see that I had makeup on my eyeballs. Though I have to say the color stayed. There was no cracking, no anything. It looked actually good all day, all evening. So I did manage to get it to work pretty good, though like I said, I could feel it on my eyes all night long. So I'm gonna see if these will give enough stick. Maybe I'll use one on each eye. I'm gonna try this one first, and if it works really well, we'll just keep it. If I'm having issues, I will go with this one. Yeah, try and do a cohesive look and see if it feels a little less heavy on this one. I'm also going to do this one in voiceover mode so I can just play around and then I can talk about it after. Alrighty, so let's get on to the look. Okay, so I'm using the e.l.f. glitter glue instead of the Berry M because this is look, I think 3 or 4. Yeah. I tried to use the black shade. Well, first I did a look. I wanted to play with the green and then add some different colors and different shimmers. And so I put the green on the outside, started playing with the purple, and then I thought, no, you know what? We wanted to use the black, so I washed it off, tried again, and then I was like, okay, let's use the black. And then the black kind of went on okay using the Berry M, but then it was just hard to add any other colors to make it look good, and there was tons of fallout. So I thought, okay, let's try one more time and let's use another black. So then I did that and used another black, and then it was starting to do a look. There was tons of fallout, and then I thought, well, still, how about I put some of that black on the new black? And of course I kind of screwed it up again, and then I decided, all right, one more time. I actually was going to just give up, and I thought, no, let's just simple it down even more. So now we're going to do a pink look. So as you can see here, we're using that pink shade that we had used in the other look yesterday. It's going on pretty good just using the e.l.f. primer. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do both eyes right away instead of doing one eye then the other, and then I thought this way I would for sure get it done. So on eye 2, we're back with the pink, which is called Cursed Coral, and we are just matching it up on both sides. This poor eye is the one that I did all the looks on, so when I first started putting the pink color on, I went and thought, okay, we're going to start on the other eye, because I think the other one is just getting a little bit tired. Okay, so we are now going to wing it out a little bit. First, again, I was going to do a rounded look, but I was just feeling that I wanted to, even though we're trying to do a simple look and get this work, I still wanted to try and do something a little bit fun. So I just kept adding some color. Look at all that fallout flying into the air. It's insane. Oh my gosh, there was so much that I had to wash off my face before I could do my base. But yeah, we're making it work. So yeah, so I thought we're just gonna kind of play away there, and then we may have to clean it up a little bit just before we put on our base and maybe reshape a little bit. I am trying with the brush here a bit. Alrighty, so back on with a little bit of the glitter glue from e.l.f., trying to get this ready to do all the shimmery shades on our eye. So I'm just trying to tap it very careful. I did notice, I don't know if you can see it, that it's balding a little bit, but you know, I guess that's to be expected when you put something wet on something matte. So we are going to use the two purples. So we are using the Dust Dahlia, which is the darker one on the outside, and then for the rest of the eye we are doing the Undead Orchid. So this purple I definitely had a lot of trouble with. This went on, I want to say, a little bit easier than it did the other day. It was going where I put it, but it just wasn't getting more opaque and really, really shimmery, but I kept trying. I mean, you can see a little bit of shimmer there, but it isn't a crazy amount for sure. Okay, so now when I'm putting the glitter glue on this side, I'm trying to use my finger instead of the brush because I want to see if patting it on makes the pink stay and not go away, and that worked a little bit better. So yeah, if you're going to add some more on top of the matte shade, definitely use your finger. I think that definitely looked a lot better. And then again, we're going to go into that darker purple, which is the Dust Dahlia, the one that I had the bit of an issue with. But I just kept going and, you know, building it up and building it up and building it up till I got to where I was happy with it. Okay, so now we're going to go to the lighter purple shade. That is the one that is Undead Orchid, and that's what we're going to use for the rest of the eye as a shimmer. I definitely really liked this one. As you can see, this one has way more color payoff and it is a lot brighter. I did have a lot of fallout with it, but it was worth it to get the color. I did have to build a little bit and dip into a little bit more of the e.l.f. Primer, because you can see where it's wet, it stays really well, or dampish, whatever. Not going to use the M word. And then you'd add some, and then where it was more dry, it didn't stick as well. So I did put a little bit on the brush to try and add some more. But with building, it did go on pretty good. I'm trying with my finger. Oh yeah, again, saying with my finger to try and put the primer on so that way I don't disturb the pink underneath. Okay, so then I just went on again with the lightest shade, the Undead Orchid, and then I just built up on both eyes so that I got all the shimmer that I wanted. As you can see, that one is a super pretty purple, and I definitely like that one 1,000 times better than this darker one here. But as you can see, it was tough getting on. Again, that is the Dust Dahlia, but we kept trying, we kept building. There you can kind of see all the fallout on the one side there, but yeah, it's all right. I guess it's time to do our face. Okay, so here is our done look with the Night of the Vivid Dead. I did 2 or is it 3 other looks before this. Twice I tried playing with the black that's in here, once using a different black and then trying to use that black on top. I hate that black, and it ended up ruining the other looks that I was trying. And then finally I was like, you know what, we're just gonna do a simple. And then this was a little bit too wet for the look, and right away things went on really thick, but as soon as you kind of blended them out, things started to get a bit bald. So I went to this one and it was way better. So this did a good job. I just had to, when I ended up one of the eyes, using my finger to tap it on, that was a little better because it did also, something to using the brush, bold a little bit of the pink, but that was okay because I piled on these 2 other shades. I added some Plumeria eyeliner from Makeup Geek, which I bought 12 of them, but I only have 1. And then I used a little bit of liner from VE Cosmetics in a kind of a purpley red shade, just to get a little closer to my lashes. So let's do complete final thoughts on this. I got a look to work. Oh, my timer went off on my tree. I got the look to finally work. For me, this just takes too much work just to do this. So just to lay down a pink and then add some other shimmers, that was a lot because you have to have the right base underneath. I know, maybe I can go through all of them. The colored base did okay with just the color, but as soon as you wanted a shimmer on top, it wasn't emollient enough. So, and like I said, my eyes felt really heavy last night. So for me, this palette is still a fail. I managed to figure it out thanks to Kelsey D and again from A Beauty and the Frizz. some of their comments on using it, but I still think it's too much work for a palette. I should be, you know, especially, and there's not enough mattes in here. This is definitely not a palette that I can use on its own. I was really struggling. It was like, should I just pull out some other palettes? But it's like, no, let's try and make a look with this. And sure enough, this is okay. This is okay. So from the shades that okay, let's go with the shades that I hate, and then we'll go from there. So this black shade is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. If you get it wet enough, if you get the right amount of wet, you can get it to pack on really, really well. But if it's a little bit too wet, then you just see the green, so you don't really see it as black. It almost shows the sparkle more, and I find it a little bit hard to blend after that as well. So I dislike this color immensely. This purple as well, to get any kind of shine was almost impossible. So these two shades are, for me, absolute write-offs. This purple I really like. I think this one is really pretty. It's really shiny. It's really wet looking. So I think this is very beautiful. I did this shade, even though it doesn't shimmer very much, just on its own, I thought was a really nice shade. That was really, really pretty too. These two are absolutely stunning shimmers, but like I said, I got it to work yesterday and I was really, really happy. So they're having the glitter glue really helped with those. I like the yellow as well. I did play a little bit with the blue with a couple of looks, and it was it was more of a topper shade. It went on really light. Same thing too with this kind of this peachy shade. And then this one was a fun color. That was the one look that we managed in yesterday's look. So color-wise, all the colors are beautiful. I could make all of them work, but it was a huge struggle for this, and this one I hate it with an ever-living bone in my body. It's awful. But most of it, like I said, I could make it work, but it's too much. So for me, I don't think it's worth the money, worth the time, and worth the energy. I apologize to the brand. I hear all your other stuff is good. Maybe it's just the neon thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not good with the formula. I'm not an expert whatsoever. I just like to play with makeup. So maybe this is not for beginners whatsoever, or even intermediates. I think this is maybe more advanced. I don't know. It's not for me. So we are sending this to Kelsey. I will of course clean it up so it doesn't look like this messy, because the fallout from this is it's everywhere. There's color everywhere. The one look, maybe if I remember, I'll stick a little snippet from the video that I kept from it. There was just like green everywhere. It was, yeah, and I don't want to have to wear big huge smock to not have fallout, and I don't want to use tons and tons, and I had to add more and more glitter glue because as soon as it started to dry, and then the color wasn't sticking so much. So for me, I don't like it. So I hope Kelsey has some good luck with it and she can show me some amazing looks. But for me, this is no bueno. So was tragedy, was the tragedy of this palette redeemed? I don't think so. Again, I can make it work. I'm not going to say that you can't, but it's too much work and too much of a struggle just to get a simple eye look, or to use this blue, unless you're using it as an inner eye corner or eye topper. Like there's not even a real blue in here that you could use. There's not enough mattes to make this amount of variance in shimmers. We could have gotten rid of maybe this purple and just had that purple. Even though I like this green one, these two green shimmers are better. So if we would have got rid of this shimmery one and put a matte blue in there, at least you would have had something to do with that. The peach can always go, peachy shades can also go really nicely with pinks and reds. So that's not too much of an issue. But yeah, you could have removed these colors, made one a blue, and even if you wanted to, one more of an orange matte. And then I think this would have been a little bit more versatile, or just put a good plain black in here, but this black was horrible. So I'm gonna go with my original assessment, and for me this is a fail palette. Again, it's too much of a struggle bus for me anyways. Not that I don't mind a little bit of work to get a look, but if all you could end up getting is a matte shade and a couple shimmers down, and that took me I don't know how long, yeah, that's too much work for me. So anyways, that's it. There's part 2 to Notoriously Morbid's Night of the Vivid Dead. Again, this is not for me. I hate being really negative. Like I said, Maybe all their other palettes are fantastic, and maybe at another time, if I can try my hand at one, I will. But at the moment, we're just going to say no. All right, so that's it from me. If you like this video, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And maybe even hit that notification bell. If not, that's okay. You can watch me be a struggle bus again. So as always, behave, make good choices, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.